Hi, this is Greg with Fizzics Group, and we're here with another Big Beer Friday. Thank you for all of us joining in today. We have the Fizzics Way Tap, and we're broadcasting today from Manhattan on the road, and we're going to do a quick little video here with a couple really awesome beers, one from Belgium, one from Austria, and we're going to put them on Fizzics, dispensing them through the Way Tap system. This one is the Slate Gray model, which is our Kickstarter exclusive. So thank you to all of our backers who helped to make our campaign such a great success. So this is the second generation product from Fizzics. Our original Fizzics draft beer system came to market last November. It's been really successful and has helped us to get some momentum to recreate and design a new second generation model, which we are really proud of. We teamed up with Frog Design, and we really like the aesthetics here and the functionality, the lightweight portability aspect of it. Just weighs 3 pounds. We have some metal parts here in the base and at the tap, and we have really nice finish. So this is the slate gray with brushed gunmetal. It's got an antimicrobial drip mat that can be removed, and all one-hand operation and super portable. We actually have carrying cases that we are selling. They're actually in the process of mass producing these right now. They'll be available on our website, Fizzics.com. So this is perfect for the Way Tap. You just unzip, and you see there's some cutout sections for the device, and all you have to do is unscrew the tap handle, and you can see there's a cutout section right here. Put that inside, and then lay the base in the cylinder right on top of the ribbon there, and you're all set. So you can take the Way Tap, which is about 3 pounds in this bag, so you're walking around about 4, probably under 5 pounds. Makes it super portable, gives you the ability to have that fresh draft beer taste no matter where you are. So you can pull this ribbon to kind of get it out here. So the idea behind Fizzics is that people prefer draft beer. If you have the same beer from a bottle and then you go and have it fresh at the brewery on tap, people prefer the draft version. And the co-founders of Fizzics really started digging into this question: why is it that same beer tastes different? Same ingredients, same process. And they found out a lot of it has to do with foam. So Fizzics perfects the foam using sound wave technology. And that's actually achieved when you push backwards on the tap handle. And what it does is it controls the formation of the foam so that the bubbles are really tiny and of a uniform size, and so it creates the ideal density. It registers positively with the trigeminal nerve in your brain, which registers physical sensations and perceives them as taste. So some good examples are if you had a breath mint, it gives you a cooling sensation, but it's really not cooling you down, it's more of that trigeminal sensation. The other end, if you had like a spicy jalapeno pepper, that'll, with the trigeminal nerve, register as some heat. What we're doing here is actually, by controlling the foam and making it smooth and creamy, it's registering with your brain and saying like, wow, this is pleasant, this is not something that's harsh or stringent or off-putting like some poor quality foams can be. So people prefer draft beer, except 80% of beer is consumed from packaged containers, so cans, bottles, growlers, you name it. And with Way Tap, it'll allow you to put, we have 2 different 12-ounce cans here, or 12-ounce bottles. I think this one's actually just 11.2, 330 milliliter. And you just place them right inside, so I'm just going to press the button here, and you can release, and then you just put the can or bottle right inside. It'll take up to a 25-ounce can. And then we designed the base to be see-through with actually cut out openings on the side, so you can guide that stainless steel tube into the neck of the bottle or the opening of the can. And you're just going to guide that down, and that'll be like the down stem in a keg, essentially. However, unlike with a kegerator that's bulky and really expensive, you're not going to be able to bring that around with you, bring it to your friend's house, bring it out on the porch, or camping or hiking. With Fizzics, it'll allow you to bring it anywhere. There's no CO2 gas or like nitro cartridges to use with this. All the carbonation that you need is going to originate in the package container itself, so it makes it really easy. There's nothing to plug in here, so you don't have to be tethered to a wall outlet. There's, like I said, no compressed tank of CO2 that you have to carry around like if you were to have a kegerator set up. Also, kegerators don't have the microfoam ability and the sound wave technology, which is the technology platform that Fizzics is really based on. And there's a lot of benefits to the foam, and we're going to talk about that as we taste these beers, and I'll pour some side-by-side hand pours and Fizzics pours for comparison, so you can see and hear me talk about, you know, what differences in aromas and mouthfeel and whatnot I'm getting. So yeah, let's start off with the first beer. So true to Big Beer Friday, we have some really strong beers here. The first one that we're going to drink is 10.5%, and the second one is 14%. So let's start talking about Gulden Draak. This is a Belgian ale. It's considered a dark triple. And they make another beer called Gulden Draak 9000, which is their quadruple. So this is a little lower ABV, still a much stronger one. This beer brings back memories for me. I remember I was studying abroad, actually just traveling abroad in between high school and college with a group of students, and we stopped in Brussels, and I was 17 at the time, and we stopped in a beer museum, and I guess probably this painted white bottle is what made it stand out to me. I went over and I grabbed it. It was actually the first beer that I ever bought, and I thought it was so cool that it was like 10%, and you drink it a little warmer, and you were able to, you know, in Belgium you could sit outside and enjoy a beer, and I thought you know, it was really getting outside the norm of the light beers that people in the U.S. usually start off drinking. But today, this craft beer scene in America is pretty awesome, so we encourage everybody to try any new style that interests you out there. Don't be afraid to start exploring and trying new things. And with the Fizzics Weight Tap and the original Fizzics, it's great to be able to switch out different beers. You can go get a mixed 6-pack of 6 different beers and put them all through Fizzics, find out what you like. You know, unlike with a kegerator, you're going to have to commit to at least a 6-stool or a quarter keg of one beer style, but I think that the small size of the weight tab really encourages trying out lots of different beers, and variety is the spice of life. So we actually opened these already. It's not a twist off, but just a couple minutes before this started because we were scrounging around for a bottle opener in the hotel. But we got a question? Let's see.
Is the tube long enough to hit the bottom of the bottle to get all of the beer out of the tube?
Yes, it's actually measured out pretty perfectly so that it gets you know, pretty much right to the bottom of the bottle without being too far that it will not push any liquid forward or out of the tube. But that brings up a good point that I did want to mention for cleaning. I'll get to that after we're finished. Well, I'll talk about it now. So after you dispense the beer, you have an empty bottle. So what I like to do is just rinse out the bottle, like you're gonna go to recycle it, and then just fill it back up with warm water, and then dispense it right through. If you can also do it with a glass that'll fit in here. However, make sure that the glass, the base of it, isn't too thick, because just like the question that we just had, if the base is too thick, then the tube will hit the bottom. So the bottles already are optimized, but unless your glass has like a really thick base, it should work as if it fits in the system. So simply just gonna place the bottle inside, and you can see through the side to guide it in, and then watch it click into place. And then we're ready to pour. Let's see. You should do some hand pour first. So for a hand pour, we're just gonna hold at a 45-degree angle, pour down the side of the glass, and then down the center at the end for some vigor. And then we put the rest through the system here. So really easy one-handed operation. If you don't want to drip anything anywhere, maybe put like a coaster or a napkin down. so that when you place this over, it doesn't get anything messed up. But so we're all loaded up here, and we're ready to go. So hold it again at a 45-degree angle, and you're going to push forward. It's going to dispense the beer at a controlled flow rate under pressure. So we're not sucking the beer up. It's actually pressurizing the inner canister and then pushing it up through the tube. Okay, and then we're going to push backwards, and it's going to use the sound wave technology to create an ideal head of foam on the beer. You can put as much or as little as you want on there. And this is of the micro foam. So kind of let these sit here a little bit, and right off the bat you can see that the microfoam bubbles are definitely smaller and have more of a uniform size, which aids in head retention. So if you have big bubbles mixed with smaller ones, the big ones are going to collapse into the smaller ones and the head will dissipate pretty quickly. When you have them all of an even size, they're going to be more, form a tighter layer and make it nice and dense, so it'll be long lasting. Why is head retention important? That protects the CO2 gas in solution from escaping. It also is an insulator for temperature and keeps the beer from sloshing around too much, and a nice head of foam just looks great. When you have some other things that foam can do for you is, especially a micro foam when it's really tiny, is it'll release more of those volatile aroma compounds that are actually trapped in the foam. And then when those are getting released, so they're hitting your nostrils and you're smelling them, and when you're smelling more, you're getting enhanced flavor perception as well. So there's a lot of what you have to taste has to do with what you smell. And off of this, I'm smelling some caramel and some cherry, dried cherry, and some Belgian candy sugar. It's a nice copper color. It's not the brightest clarity. I think this beer is re-fermented in the bottle. So this is from Brouwery van Steenberg, and I believe it's in Bruges. But anyway, the Gold Dragon. So Gulden Draak stands for Gold Dragon, and that is actually a old Norse carving that was on the legend has it was on like a Viking longboat that did some different voyages across the world and ended up in let's see, it was Constantinople, and then finally settled in Bruges, and then Ghent defeated Bruges in a battle, and then they confiscated the statue. So it's got some cool history to the dragon on there itself. So it's a dark triple. It's definitely darker than a typical triple. And it's got some more of a fruity and malt forward flavors, as opposed to a traditional triple will have more spicy. Yeah, it's full flavored. You definitely get some ripe apple and some of that caramel and burnt sugar flavor. So for this beer, recommended pairing is we have a French Rochefort cheese here. Nice stinky cheese, high intensity to match with the strength and flavor intensity of this beer. It's got a pretty moderate high carbonation level, which makes it good for what beer has that wine doesn't for pairing with food, is that carbonation and ability to kind of scrub or cleanse the palate between bites, especially if you have tongue coating fatty cheese. But great beer, as good as I remembered it to be. Even better with a nice long lasting head of foam on it. Looks great. You can see the foam from the hand pour is just about giving way, and that's going to let the gas start to escape, and probably getting towards the end of that if you're sipping slowly, which you should with this beer. It'll probably start to thin out a little bit. Get that nice fluffy layer of foam on top. Always helps. Alright. So next beer is called Samichlaus, and that's Swiss German for Santa Claus. And let's see, this beer is only brewed one day of the year on December 6th, the day of St. Nicholas. And it says in the bottle it's a malt liquor, which is probably something by law they had to say, but I think it's brewed to the Doppelbock style, just to a higher strength, more of the extremes. The typical Doppelbock will probably be somewhere in like the 7 to 9 range, and this is 14%. So I think it's, at one point it might have been one of the strongest beers in the world, not anymore, but it says the world's most extraordinary beverage on it. So this brewery is Brauerei Schloss Eggenberg. Schloss means castle in German. It's the oldest family-owned brewery in Austria. And, you know, Germany is known for kind of having a huge beer presence in that area, but Austria is not to be overshadowed. They make some really excellent beer as well. And the culture there in terms of beer drinking is pretty awesome. So, without any further ado, let's get this thing through the Fizzics. So I guess I'll do a side-by-side pour with this one too. I don't think this one's bottle conditioned, but it goes through an extended lagering period. So I wouldn't expect to not see really much foam at all with this one. It's lagered actually for 10 months before it even gets packaged. And that's done at the brewery in maturation tanks, and it's actually the brewery's perfect location for lagering. It actually, lagering is a German word to store away, and that's exactly what they did when they started brewing lagers back in Bohemia and then Bavaria. They would actually get big chunks of ice and bring them into caves in the side of the Alps. So this pretty obvious example here, foam's already dead. A beer, wow, I can smell that from here. A beer this strength is, you know, high alcohol liquids really are foam killers. But this made a beautiful head of foam on a malt liquor. Yeah, so anyway, lagering. This beer is lagered in a brewery which is based at the foot of the Alps. So I think that's pretty cool. And we'll give this a test out, see what it's like. That is rich. It's got some viscosity, but it's not like heavy, like it's gonna weigh you down. But it's like there's some sweetness. It's definitely not cloying, but it's they probably do a nice, really long boil on here to get some of those Maillard reactions going, to get some of those browning flavors, the melanoidin flavors, caramel, dark fruit. Yeah, that's like just Doppelbock taken to the next level, for sure. It's super smooth. It's like you can tell that the 10 months in maturation really makes all the difference here. If you were to make a beer to this strength and try to crank it out in a month or 2 months, it would be pretty harsh. There'd be some higher fusel alcohols and off flavors, and all the flavors wouldn't be really gelling and molding together like they are with this beer. But if I had this and you asked me how much or how strong it was, I would never guess 14%. Drinks probably like 10%. But super flavorful. If you can hunt this one down, definitely try it out. I think I got it at Wegmans. So let's see. Clean up, take your bottle, rinse it out. Go ahead and put it into the system and tap the water through for about 5 seconds or so. Give the drip tray a little rinse. Anywhere that there's any splattered beer, just give that a rinse. And if give it a little bit to air dry. Give it a minute to air dry. Especially if you're not going to be using it for a while. So, good thing to do is you could take like a coaster or a napkin and then just set aside over here after you gave it a rinse, and then let it air dry, and you're all good to use your Fizzics weight tap for next time. Look out for these, and so you can pre-order them on our website right now, Fizzics.com. They'll be ready to ship around January 5th. Unfortunately, now we're all sold out through the holidays. We had a lot of demand, and our Kickstarter backers were our first priority, so they're actually getting all their units. A lot of them already have their units, but the slate grays are shipping, and then we're shipping all of our international orders. Again, thank you guys all so much for your support, and if there's anything that you'd like to see in a future Big Beer Friday, or anything that you'd like me to talk about in terms of the company or the product, feel free to shoot it in the comments or ask it live next time. So yeah, we'll see you next Friday. Cheers.